This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 83 of the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Today's show is taken from August the 14th, 2014. First up, one of my favorite semi-reoccurring guests, neighbor Desmond, is in the house. He and Greg catch up on a lot of not necessarily barbecue things. Second segment today, it is a pork butt roundtable. Still, some of the most popular BBQ Central shows around. Let's get to it. Here is Greg and neighbor Desmond from August 14, 2014.
Or email Greg at the bbqcentralshow.com. We were off last week, but the week before that, you were introduced to a friend of the neighborhood, and he joins me again this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Desmond Motley, ladies and gentlemen. Desmond, how are you, bud?
I'm doing better.
Better than what?
Well, I just did the ice challenge.
I know that's right.
Whoa there.
As a matter of fact, as luck may or may not have it, as I quickly scroll through all of my Facebook stuff here. I mean, it's all the rage. You can't get on Facebook anymore and not see somebody that's decided to take the Facebook ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Wow, that lady's got no shirt on Facebook.
Yeah.
This lady's going to get it over the top of a fence post. All right. For some reason, it's not showing up directly. Sorry. All right, so.
Yeah, it was extremely cold because Andy decided to fill the bucket halfway up with ice and top it off with water, ice cold water.
Well, that's how you do it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people fake the challenge. They just put water in the bucket.
What does that even mean, fake the challenge?
You don't do it wholeheartedly.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
They call it the ice challenge for a reason. You put ice in it.
Yeah, here's Desmond Motley doing the Ice Bucket Challenge here just as early as a couple minutes ago.
I have been nominated to do the ALS Challenge by William Rice, Philip Motley, and Angelo Motley. And I nominate James Page, Patrick Bain, and Kevin Justice. You have 24 hours.
Look at this guy. He's about,
Holy shit!
swearing, running out of my backyard. That's it.
Was it cold?
Ice Bucket Challenge. Is it cold?
You damn right it's cold.
Yeah. I've never seen anybody get
You
tasted.
can stop recording.
Yeah, that's
And,
right.
and
There
your
he
wife
is.
wouldn't stop recording.
No, hell no.
She just ran with it.
You're damn right. She knows gold when she sees it on the Facebooks.
Well, you know what? I've been nominated for this challenge on Twitter,
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram. I've got emails. It's ridiculous.
And so tonight is the first night you've done the Ice Bucket Challenge, or have you done it like multiple times? I've known some people have done it multiple times.
This is the first time I've actually done it.
Yeah. And so, like first and last, or might you do it again just for fun, or
I'm not sure. Kind
of cold,
very cold,
super cold,
super cold.
Yeah, because you did it right.
Yeah, and I had ice cubes punch me in the eyes, basically, because I was in your chair.
Yeah,
and that chair has a nice little recline to it.
Yes,
for an outdoor chair.
Yeah,
and yeah, it got me pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're going to do it right, you might as well do it right. Yeah?
Absolutely.
All right. I mean, you can't go anywhere without seeing an Ice Bucket Challenge anymore, right?
No, you cannot. It is the new craze.
Desmond, let me ask you something. Do you think it's watered down anything, or do you think that only any publicity is going to be helping that? No pun intended with the watered down, by the way. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I don't necessarily know. I mean, it has.
Did you know about ALS?
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine who I used to play ball with occasionally, he actually has ALS. So I know exactly what the disease is.
But do you think you know more about a bucket of ice water than you know more about ALS? Or do you think hand in hand you're knowing more about the disease and the fact that people are jumping buckets of ice water?
I know, me personally, I know more about the disease. Typically, a lot of people are just doing it for, basically solidarity and everybody getting in and want to be a part of it.
They want to be Cleveland Browns fans is what you're saying. Here's something that I found incredibly interesting just a couple days ago, Desmond.
Okay.
And you're a father of a young, strapping lad. I have fathered 3 daughters, now much older than yours, of course. But we've all gone through this period of child rearing.
Yes.
And rule number 1 of the show, no names, please. The backyard neighbor to us has recently had an offspring. And, I mean, what are we talking? How old are we talking, Desmond? Couple weeks?
Couple weeks.
Maybe.
2 tops.
Fresh baby.
Yeah, fresh baby.
Fresh baby. She has got this kid in the front-facing backpack, but the kid is not old enough to keep its head up. It looks like she's walking him around and hanging him or her all during the walk. The kid just looks like... It's one of the most horrific sights. Have you seen it around the neighborhood?
I have.
Don't you feel obligated to walk up to her and be like, hey, neighbor, you're hanging your kid?
I hope they're not watching the show. I hope they're not listening.
Guarantee it. They're not watching.
I hope they're not listening.
No way.
But, me and the wife were talking, and some people have that, maternal and, maternal instinct, and she's one of those people who just does not.
I don't understand the need for the backpack. Like, carry the kid.
or put him in his stroller.
Yes, it's one or the other. Especially, I mean, if you're a woman, I guess you could get away with it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you're a man and you're wearing a baby backpack, front or back, it makes no difference. You're not less or more of a man if you wear it on the front or the back. I mean, carry your kid like you like it, or put it in the stroller like you don't. I mean, own it, one or the other. Don't wear it like a satchel of books.
On your first day of class.
Yes.
Your freshman year of college.
Books can hold up their head better than that baby, for crying out loud.
Oh, God, that is terrible.
I wanted to intervene. I wanted to say, lady, look,
why am I laughing?
I'm here to give you guidance. Your baby's choking to death as you leisurely stroll about.
Leisurely.
Yeah. That's the essence of leisure right there.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right.
To put in your request for a future show, please contact John Solberg via email at johnjon@thebbqcentralshow.com.
The Ice Bucket Challenge. I had completely forgotten that was even a thing. And it was a monster thing, was it not? That's crazy. Where did that memory go? I'm not even sure why I brought it back. But, hey, before we get into the Pork Butt Roundtable, are you following the Really Big Barbecue Central show on social media? Much appreciated. Very easy to do. It is at BBQ Central Show on Instagram and Twitter, and /BBQ Central Show on Facebook. Give them a follow. That said, let's jump into the second segment today. One of the ever popular roundtables. This one, Pork Butt. Let's do it.
Competition pork cooks in the country right now. David Qualls, American Dream Barbecue Team, first place pork, KCBS right now. Matt Barber, Hot Watch Chulas, second overall in pork, FBA. And Darren Worth, Iowa Smoky D's, third overall pork, KCBS. Gentlemen, appreciate you joining me this evening to do a little pork butt roundtable, I guess, before we get to everything that's happening tonight and get into the pre-cook stuff and the cooking and the post-cooking. Why don't we quickly go around the proverbial table here, the dais, if you will, and find out what everybody's cooking on. And we will start with David Qualls from American Dream Barbecue Team. I'm doing absolutely fabulous, David. Appreciate it.
Good, thank you. We're cooking on Jambo.
Only Jambos, or is that something that you have progressed to over your time in the competition world?
I know this is our third year. First year we cooked on FECs. Last year we cooked on an R&O, which is in that picture you got up. And this year we finished off the end of last year with a J5 Jambo and been running with it this year too.
Compared to the other two, the best cooker you've had so far, or do you like bits and pieces of the other cookers?
Each one have their characteristics, but I think, proof's in the pudding. I think the Jambo is the go-to cooker for us, for sure.
What about you, Darren Worth, Iowa Smoky D's?
We started our career on pellet cookers, moved to the WSM. We've cooked on about everything, but now we've been on the Jambo for the last 3 years.
So you started, typically, I guess, people start with a WSM, then might progress to a pellet cooker, and then ultimately a stick burner. But you started with a pellet cooker and got away from it. Did you... What are some of the precipitating events that lead you to go away from what you started with?
Well, the pellet cooker was hot. It was a great cooker, and people were winning a lot of championships. When we started 11 years ago, and then I think in the circuit there was a need for a little bit more smoke. So guys, started putting some chunks of wood and some charcoal in the FEs and whatever, and I started kind of moving over to the WSM and getting some smoke on the pork, or really for all the meats, and then moving it over and using the FE and stuff as an oven. But then eventually moved over to the WSM, and then once I went on the Jambo, I think I've got a cooker for life, never going back to anything else.
Matt Barber from Hot Wachulas, what are you cooking on, buddy?
Hey, when I first started, I had a little backwoods party.
Same thing that you're cooking on now, or have you graduated as well?
Actually, I've got my own cookers that I'm working on that I should have out for sale at the end of October.
Matt, do you use a automatic pit temperature control device situation on your cooker?
Yeah, actually, Jim from Sweet Smoke made me a little pit fan temp controller for the charcoal maze on the bottom.
Darren, you don't use any pit temperature control device on the Jambo, do you?
No, just straight wind.
Straight wind. Yeah, straight wind. David, any auto temp controls on the Jambo for you, or just straight wind like Darren?
No, straight like Darren.
All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out how I want to ask this question, or where I want to ask this question. But let's just start off with it. Why not throw caution to the wind? David, let's start with you. When I had the competition brisket roundtable a couple weeks ago, and we talked not extensively, but we spent a decent amount on purveyors of brisket, the Wagyus, the Snake River Farms, and so forth. I guess 3 or 4 years ago, it wouldn't be that much of a topic on the pork butt side of things, but that's started to see, at least from my eyes, some type of an evolution as well, where teams are going to specific purveyors or kinds of pork where they had in years past. David, are you looking to go to like a Sam's or a BJ's and just buying pork butt off the rack, or are you going to a Compart type deal, or a Snake Rivers or a Carabuta or something like that for your pork?
Last year I run all three. I run a Hampshire breed, I run Duroc, and I ran Sam's butts, green label IVPs, and one with all of them. But I settled in towards the end of last year with Compart. Learned to cook them well, and I really like the product. There's a lot of science that goes into Compart Duroc in that whole breed of that line.
Darren, are you using a specific pork purveyor at this point, or is it still, just go and buy off the rack?
I've just been using Seaboard, commodity pork. That's what comes into the restaurant. At any one time I can walk back to the cooler and I got 15 to 20 cases of butts that I can pick through. So, that's the selection of it. I know some of that's probably coming in Duroc. I saw some last night come through that I could tell just the way the money muscles were shaped and stuff, that it was Duroc product coming through, and the color of it and the deep red and stuff like that. But I bought in about 3 cases of Duroc. Just looked at them. They weren't. I tried to trim one up. Didn't seem right for me, so I just, took them over and cooked them at the restaurant. So, I'm just kind of a commodity pork guy.
Matt Barber, Hot Wachulas, your purveyor of choice, or is it just commodity pork like Darren?
Just commodity. I mean, I've been stuck with the IBPs as of late. I've seemed to have good luck with them. I've tried. It's either I prefer IBP, but I do seaboards a lot. I've tried Vanderose Farms last year, but for some reason I think between my injection and my rubs, it just seems to for the IBP pork.
And we're going to get into the preparatory stage here. Matt, we'll start with you as we get into this. Do you use or have you ever used whole shoulders, or are you just a traditional Boston butt kind of guy?
Just Boston butts. Never done a whole shoulder.
Is that something that you would consider trying in a competition, or like no way?
I don't know. Not a first time in a competition, but it is something that I'd like to do. I mean, one of my goals next year is to try and do an MBN or MIM contest and do the whole shebang. Try and get a couple guys from Florida to get together and cook an MIM contest. But so at some point I'm going to have to get in the groove. But up until now, it's just kind of been Boston butt.
David Qualls, American Dream Barbecue Team, ever messed around with the whole shoulder stuff or done picnics, or has it always been just the Boston butt for you?
The straight butts. I mean, they would be nice. I'd like to go to Lambert and Malcolm Reed's class to kind of just learn to mess with a shoulder, because I think it's a good exhibition piece to cook, for friends or family, or we do some fundraiser stuff and cook pork for. But, I don't think there's any room in KCBS for full shoulders.
Darren Worth, Iowa Smoky D's, ever messed around with a whole shoulder, or is it just the pork butt for you?
Oh, I've played around. I've cooked a few shoulders, and I've helped cook some shoulders in Memphis and May. Stuff fun to deal with, but no place for it in my repertoire in KCBS.
Darren, do you notice I've heard from time to time that the picnic will give you I guess in a layman's term, a more of a hammy taste. Is that something that you could confirm, or did you not find it to be, as hammy?
I didn't find that so much, as more as I found the meat just a different texture, kind of that stringy meat through there that I know is really popular in the Southeast. But all I noticed was really texture, not taste. But then again, I'm not a good taster. I really don't taste much of my food, so. I just do everything by feel and looks.
Is Sherry the taster?
Except for when it comes to pork. Sherry, nobody tastes the pork at our place.
Well, how the hell you kind of do it? How do you know if it's good?
You know what? If you only cook a certain amount of pork, and that's the amount that needs to get turned into the judges, does it matter whether it's good or not?
Doesn't it?
If 90% of what I cook gets turned into the box, does it matter whether it's good?
Probably not, right?
It's kind of like the argument of cooking. A lot of cooks out there cook 2 briskets because they say one's always better than the other, and I said, how could it be if you cook one?
Whoa, did I leave you hanging there? Hey, don't worry. There's a lot more to this segment. And if you head over to the bbqcentralshow.com, there will be a link in the show notes of this show to take you to the complete episode. And you can get the rest of that pork butt roundtable. While you're over at the Barbecue Central Show, please subscribe to the Barbecue Central Show via podcast. Never miss an episode of this show or the Really Big Show again. Until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I am your host, John Solberg. And I look forward to talking to you again soon.